What's up, everyone? My name is Julian Warren. I am 29 from New London, Connecticut. This YouTube channel is going to be a journal of sorts. It's part a walk-away story of how and why I left the Democratic Party after generations. My grandparents, my parents, and everybody else in my family. I'm in Connecticut, stuck in New England, everybody around me. All Democrats, democratic ideas. Me personally, I'm of mixed ethnicity. My mother is Native American, black, and French, and my father was Italian or Portuguese or something. The point of this whole social experiment, I guess you could say, is I'd like to use my skills and the places that I've been in my own life to try to get the message out to other people, because right now in our country, I've never seen us so divided, so close to an open civil war in the streets. And the reason why we're so divided is it has a lot to do with that box, in everybody's house. I don't own a TV. I won't let a TV in my house anymore. I have researched. I've always loved to learn my whole life, but ever since I was quote-unquote red-pilled or jumped down the rabbit hole and started to find out the truth about some things, my views rapidly changed. It is January 31st as I make this video, and the latest thing that happened, which is yet another ideal that I was being told I was supposed to support, and so I supported it, and then I realized that I don't really feel the way that I was being told I should. This new controversy behind the bill passed in New York, Chris Cuomo signed into law the abortion bill that makes it legal up until the woman is dilated to perform an abortion. That's fact. If you read the bill, if you study the bill that got passed, it also removes, so before in the state of New York, somebody beats up a pregnant woman, right? Somebody mugs or robs a pregnant woman, and in the course of that, she miscarries and the baby dies, right? You would be charged with homicide for the child, but it removes that from the criminal statutes. So now you can no longer be charged with murder if you hurt a woman and she, if the baby dies. And I would assume now that if a woman, God forbid, was murdered while she was pregnant, he would only be charged with one count of homicide. It's horrifying because this thing is spreading across the country. They just tried it in Virginia, but Virginia struck it down. But the Virginia governor literally got on and he was talking about this new law, and it's very similar in New York. They're mirroring the bill and introducing it in different states. But he spoke. I'll put a link to it in the description. He spoke about how the baby could be born, right? And say it has deformities. This is what he says, but if you actually read the bill, it says for any physical or mental health reason that the female decides. So if a woman gets in a rush of depression and anxiety, maybe the guy leaves at 8.5 months, her due date is in 2 weeks, she can go and have an abortion for her mental health. Now, an 8.5-month-old baby, I'm trying to come up with a more scientific word, but, you got to say how it is. That's a baby. And they're talking about, the Virginia governor's talking about the baby being born, keeping the baby comfortable, and then having a conversation with the doctor over whether or not to perform the abortion. But the baby's already born. The baby's laying on the table. They're keeping it comfortable. I'm going to link the video. They're keeping it comfortable while they discuss whether or not to end that baby's life. That is murder. That's infanticide. The baby's born. The baby's on the table. And it's opening up a lot of different things from the left that is just moving so far radically to the left. I have my own personal beliefs on political issues, social issues. Of course, everybody is entitled to their own beliefs. That's one of the key core principles in our rights and our Constitution. I would not say that I am a Democrat or a Republican. If I had to pigeonhole myself by attaching a label, I'd say I'm a constitutionalist. I believe in the philosophy of the founding people, the people who wrote that document, and I believe that when that document is followed as it was intended, that you have a wonderful, free, and prosperous society. Now, after thinking Trump getting elected was the end of the world, why did I think it was going to be the end of the world if Trump got elected? Now I got to think back. Why was I in that state? Why did I believe this? Well, I believed it because of the box on the wall. The box on the wall told me that as a Democrat, as somebody on the left, that he was evil and racist and all these other labels. But when I started doing my homework, I couldn't find any facts to support this. I don't know why I thought it was the end of the world if he got elected. The reason why was because the box on the wall told me to, and so I blindly followed. Through my research, I believe, one moment, I'm going to get my coffee. Through my research, I believe that Trump was elected and asked to run in an effort for some good guys in our military and government to take our country back. You know, we've all had this feeling, well, maybe I shouldn't say we all, I shouldn't speak for you, but I know through my life I've always had this feeling that, you know, something's not right, and there's so many divisions and wars, and now it's worse than at any time in my 39 years. So, you know, I became active on social media with my newfound conservative thoughts and views and the support of President Trump. I support President Trump's job. I support the job he's doing. I support the things that he's accomplishing. I support his attitude towards our country. And I do that because I stopped listening to the box. You see, the box told me he was racist, right? But I know the history behind the Democrat Party and how it was the party of racism. It was the party that fought to keep blacks slaves, then segregated. It was only through Republican votes that blacks gained the right to vote and have citizenship and whatnot. I reviewed the things at that time. The xenophobia and the racism was for Muslim people in the beginning because of his country band. The ban was to stop letting people in from these countries that had a lot of people that wanted to attack us until we could figure things out. Obama did the same exact thing, and I remember when he did it, so it was so confusing to me. Why is it wrong when Trump does it, but it was right when Obama does it? And the reason is because the box on the wall. The box on the wall tells me it's wrong when Trump does it. You know, it's not. And now we have this huge border issue, which has turned into yet another argument on racism and xenophobia. And listen, the facts are that 90% of the heroin, the fentanyl specifically, and like 80% of the coke or whatever, the vast majority of the drugs that are affecting American communities come over the southern border. There's a high instance of child sex trafficking and sex trafficking that goes back and forth over the borders, gang members, terrorists, and the whole nine. The left, the Democrats, I came to realize didn't really care about these people. They were a new voting bloc because they vote overwhelmingly Democrat. Of course you would if you have one label of person fighting for you to be able to get all this free stuff and move into the country, and one label of people saying that that's not okay, you should follow the rules and the laws. So anyways, I made a decision to get off social media and take my views to the street. I've been purposely wearing this hat the whole time. When I walk around my town wearing this hat, doesn't really change my daily life. Maybe I'll have a funny jibe or two from a Yankees fan, but it's all in good fun. Now this hat right here is much different. This hat, like the other hat said that I support the Boston Red Sox and I like what the Boston Red Sox do. So wear it on my head is a sign that I am a Red Sox fan. This Maga Hat, the old infamous Maga Hat, is the same thing. All it's saying is I approve of President Trump. I approve of the job he's doing. I approve of the fact that he's made it so easy for minorities to get a job right now. There's jobs everywhere. The economy is booming. His war on pedophiles and online sex trafficking in real life and guns and drugs and tax cuts and getting us out of these horrible trade deals, which really are horrible. They're what's been robbing us of our wealth. Our wealth has been being sucked out of the country by bad people. Some of it siphoned off to the bad people, and the rest that goes all around this world. And now you have all these radical Democrats that have all these something for all programs, Medicare for all, college for all, this, that, everything for all, but nobody has any idea how to pay for it. They're pipe dreams. They're things that they say to manipulate the minds of the people that they want to vote for. And so I am going to use this hat as an attempt to start a conversation with people in my area. I'm going to keep a journal of it. My intent is, because this hat causes such a visceral reaction, that as people react to it, maybe I can snatch it as an opportunity to introduce some of the facts that I've learned to them and help them to walk away from the party of insanity too. I do that with the knowledge I may be hurt just for simply wearing this hat. But this is what I still do, and that's the point of the Maga Hat Journal.